Let's begin with C.S. Lewis, who in the book Mere Christianity makes an allegorical argument about ethics by relating it to a ship on high seas. Lewis says every ship must answer three questions. 1. How do I stay afloat? 2. How do I avoid bumping into other ships? 3. Why am I out here in the first place? The first question, how do I stay afloat, is about personal ethics and the boundaries we set for ourselves. Some examples could be, what do I eat or drink? Do I avoid alcohol or drugs? It can even be extended to the clothes we wear, the way we act, and the way we speak. These choices are directly responsible for whether or not we thrive as individuals and can often lead to life or death decisions, especially if we should choose to ignore the consequences of our actions that are self-destructive. What about the second question? How do I avoid bumping into other ships? This has to do with social ethics and how we relate to others, wives, children, extended family, widows, orphans, and the foreigner. How do we settle disputes when they arise? Without an answer to these questions, society as we know it would fall apart. Our world would devolve into conflict and, in worst case, civil war. Now for the final question, why am I out here in the first place? Honestly, I think we've all asked this question at some point or other. This has to do with essential ethics, our purpose. Without an answer, we're just drifting ships in a vast ocean. Many atheists and agnostic philosophers concede that without God, there's no objective way to assign purpose to individuals. If we truly are random clumps of cells, or a random assortment of atoms, who somehow became sentient, then what is the meaning of life? We see in our world the things that we create have an objective purpose assigned to them. They were made for a reason. What about us? Friedrich Nietzsche warned that nihilism is a deep psychological problem leading to ethical collapse where values become arbitrary and destructive. Some even use this to justify perverse or wrong actions, saying, if life has no meaning, why not? Seriously, why not? Ironically, this exact line of thinking has led some to reject God. Aldous Huxley, the English writer and philosopher, in his book Ends and Means states, I had motives for not wanting the world to have meaning. The liberation we philosophers desired was from a certain system of morality. We objected to the morality because it interfered with our sexual freedom. Think for a moment about our society. One of the reasons I've heard people refuse God is because they know if he exists, it implies a system of morality that might deprive them of their desires. But the cost of this rejection is high. Many studies have shown that purposelessness correlates with depression, anxiety, and sometimes even suicidal ideation, whereas those with purpose, even when faced with negative circumstances, tend to persevere. Now we're starting to see the dire consequences of living a life without ethics. Hey, Editor Josh here. If you'd like to hear more on this subject, please take a look at the video description. I have a link in there. Thank you for watching this video and have a blessed day.